Instant Pot New York style cheesecake. That's right, you heard me correct. Instant Pot cheesecake. This stuff is amazing. Don't tune out. You have to see this. It turns out amazing. It tastes amazing. You would never know it's made in an Instant Pot. So, super easy recipe. First thing you're going to need to do, we're going to start with a greased 7-inch springform pan, and we're going to get our cake release. Now, this stuff is the grease and the flour mixed in already. It's what the pros use. You just want to put a little bit in. A little bit goes a long ways. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is I use parchment paper to cover the bottom of this. This is done. Let's set this aside for now. Alrighty, let's get to the crust. So we have 1 pack of ground graham crackers, honey grams. I crush these in my Vitamix. We're going to need a pinch of salt. So just a little pinch. 2 teaspoons of brown sugar and 4 tablespoons of melted butter. We're just going to mix this with a fork. Pour this in here. Don't want to waste any butter. Butter is awesome stuff. But basically you just want to get everything wet. Alright, that looks pretty good right there. Let's get this in our springform pan. And we just want to press this down. We just want the bottom firm. We don't really care if the edges, actually we don't want the edges perfect. We just want to press this down, and you want to leave the edges up just a little bit. Alright, now there's our crust. And we're going to put this in the freezer for just a little bit. So while our crust is in the freezer, we're going to make up the batter. So when you're baking, keep your dry ingredients a little separate. So 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 2 pinches of salt, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So we're just going to use a fork, kind of mix these together a little bit. Now with the wet ingredients, you're going to need 2 bricks or 16 ounces of cream cheese. These are 8-ounce bricks. And you're going to need a 1/2 cup of sour cream. It's best if these are room temperature. And we're using pure vanilla extract. So remember, if you're using pure vanilla extract, use less than you would of vanilla because this is pure. So this calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So we're going to use between 2/3 and 3/4 of a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And then we're going to start mixing this. All right, so now let's get our dry ingredients in here. I'm just going to pour these around, and we're going to mix again. And when baking and mixing, it's always a good idea to scrape down your sides and make sure everything gets mixed in. So scrape those sides down and mix again. And we don't want to overmix these, so get these good and mixed. And now we're going to mix in 2 eggs. Scrape those sides down. One more real quick mix. Alrighty. Let's get our beaters out of the way. Who doesn't love licking the beaters? It is unplugged, by the way. That's going to be tasty cheesecake. Alright, so we got our batter. We got our crust out of the freezer. And what we're going to do is just pour our batter on top of the crust. We're just going to kind of even it out. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect here. Alright, so I did smooth that out just a little bit. Now we're going to get it in the Instant Pot. We're going to put it on this little rack here. And now, when you're baking with an Instant Pot, the reason I put it on this tray is because we do need to put water in the bottom of it when you're baking. So we got water in the bottom. We got a rack here. We're going to gently place this in the Instant Pot. So you see how that fits. Now let's get our lid on, and we're ready to start baking. Now we're going to set this to pressure cook. It's on high. We want to go 26 minutes and start. Alright, so the cheesecake's done. We have to leave it in the Instant Pot for 10 minutes. So while it's resting, we're going to finish up the New York style topper. So what you're going to need is some more sour cream. We're going to use 2 heaping tablespoons of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and we're going to whisk this. We just want it mixed up real nice. Now, let's get the cheesecake out of the Instant Pot. Okay, so we're going to release our pressure. We know there's pressure because this little silver thing's up. So we're going to release the pressure. All right, pressure's gone. That thing drops. Now, because we cooked with water, there's going to be condensation on this lid. We don't want to spill it on our cheesecake. So we're going to twist slowly and keep this as level as possible so that water doesn't run off. Now I'm going to get some hot pads. We'll get this over to the counter. I'm going to try and keep this level. Now you see there's just a little bit of moisture because you're cooking with water here. So what we're going to do is we take a paper towel and we're just going to put down along the side and barely touch to absorb some of this water. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we got most, if not all of the water out of there. Now we're going to take our New York style topper and we're just going to use a spatula. We're going to get this on top. And kind of careful because you'll notice when you pull this cheesecake out of here, it's kind of jiggly, so we don't want too much pressure on here. We just kind of want to spread lightly, you know, as even as you can. All right, we got the topper on, we got it smooth. Now, this is still kind of warm. Do not pop this pan. This has to go in the refrigerator for a minimum of 4 hours. We're actually going to leave it overnight because we're taking this to a little family get-together tomorrow. All right, this has been in the refrigerator overnight. We're going to go ahead and pop this open. Take a look at that. Nice crust right around the side there. New York style. Let's give this a cut and see what a piece of this looks like. And we're going to put a little bit of our strawberry syrup, homemade strawberry syrup right over there. Take a look at that. All right, one thing left to do, and that's taste this.
Ouch.
Nice, creamy.
Linda, you might as well get in there because you're
strawberry syrup
in there.
You're already in it.
It's delicious. Linda, just laughing in the background.
She's waiting for her piece.
Thanks for stopping. Click that thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for stopping.